In the beginning of this year, January 2023, we entered the Mediterranean Sea via transiting Suez Canal. We went straight into Greece, Crete Island. Then we went to Turkey. Then we went back to Greece through Corinth Canal into Ionian Sea and then to Croatia. After Croatia, we jumped to Italy through the boot between the mainland Italy and Sicily, and then up to Sardinia. From Sardinia, we made only one stop in Corsica, beautiful Bonifacio. From Corsica, we went straight to Monaco and French Riviera, and from French Riviera to Barcelona, and we will take you from Barcelona in the beginning of Season 8.
Yeah, so we met some friends in Croatia.
Yes.
And we had heard so many bad things about Croatia that, we didn't know if we want to go. So we had very low expectations for Croatia, and it exceeded our low expectations to the point where that was our favorite country in Europe, I think.
And overall, we visited so far like 43 countries. I would say it's definitely top 5.
I would say it's top 5 as well. We had a great time, a lot of good travelers to meet, met some really good friends. Hi, Timmy. And, it was just a great time.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful, hands down. It feels very Venetian because it used to be a country occupied by Venetians, and it's just so beautiful. And atmosphere overall, it's very touristy. So somebody said it and I had to verify, but Croatia has the biggest fleet of charter boats in the world. Can you imagine?
Yeah, so you can go to an anchorage and it's just fully on packed. And they have like groups of 35 to 50 boats that just take over anchorages, and it's full on party town for a couple nights. So you can actually get kicked out of an anchorage because if that's their destiny, if you're there having a good time, you get 50 boats coming in, they're just gonna surround you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yes, so if being in the very busy places not your gig, maybe not Croatia, but they have like million awesome anchorages, so many islands. And I think if you go north of Split, so like Split is in the middle of Croatia, and there's so many islands. I think the north part of Croatia is less busy.
I believe you're right.
But the southern part is being Dubrovnik, the capital, no, not capital, but one of the most famous places in Croatia, and the middle being Split, where they have huge charter boat marinas. Yeah, it's really, really busy. And some anchorages, especially in Mljet National Park, you might end up paying 100 euros per mooring ball. But there's a good way to go around. You go to the other parts of Mljet Park. You go to the restaurant that provides the mooring, and basically you pay nothing. You just eat in a restaurant.
Yeah, so you pay high prices for a meal, and with that is your meal ticket for your boat too.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, we were having nice dinner, really not cheaping out. It was 80 euros for 2 of us, so it's way better than paying 100 euros for just mooring ball.
Yeah, I agree, and it was a nice experience.
Lovely. So then what else? Food was delicious, wine was delicious, good grocery store provisioning as well, and
very good.
Boat works. We had one emergency fix-up, and we randomly kind of got suggested this person. This person came over very quickly, fixed within 20 minutes whatever we needed. Very professional, very, because we were on the phone trying to figure out if we can fix something ourselves. That didn't work, and yeah, that was very good experience. But we didn't do any other boat works there.
We changed our washing machine.
Yeah, it's not really boat works, but yeah, that was some engineering done. What else? Specific to Croatia. So specific to Croatia, you have to pay a cruising fee. For our boat, 16-meter boat, it would have been like 220 euros per year. And then we paid about 40 euros per person for a month, like a tourist fee. You don't need the visa, it's just like a tourist fee, something like that.
So it's much less than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be much more. So everything was much cheaper, and you don't have to check out if you're going over to Italy after that. You do have to go in and say that you're leaving. It's kind of like a checkout, but there's no passport control. They don't, charge you. They won't stop you from leaving or anything like that. So we had heard that you were going to get overcharged when we left, but nothing. Mm-hmm. We just went on.
Yeah.
So is there anything else we need to talk about Croatia?
Yes.
Beautiful place. I think you should go.
Specific things. Next to one anchorage, we met two people who paid 88 euros for speeding with their dinghy.
That's because they're fine people and they deserve to get fined, Timmy.
Yeah.
So anyways, what it is they've got it marked in small letters that you can't go over 4 knots with your dinghy. And if you go over 4 knots, they will fine tourist boats, people that aren't locals, so foreign people like us, but they don't really go after the locals. The locals cruise on and they go as fast as they want, and the police, they don't say a word to them. But people like us, yeah, they will fine you.
The other specific to Croatia is again those unexpected winds. I believe they are called bura, and we got to feel them. We actually ended up in a very sketchy situation.
Yeah, we were anchored in a sketchy place in the beginning, but there was no wind, so we just dropped the hook. We didn't. I think we were in like 5 meters of water. We had 20 meters of chain out, and the winds came up 50 knots out of nowhere. From 15 minutes from start to 50 knots was 15 minutes, and we had to work really hard to make sure that we didn't hit the other boats. All the boats were dragging, and we were dragging through, like there were 3 boats anchored in there. Our friends were the 4th boat, but they were out in the open, but we almost got pushed right onto the rocks and then into the other boats, and the other boats were coming at us. So it was a wild time for about 30 minutes. The next stop was Italy. What did you think of Italy?
Expectations were high. The reality was rough.
Well, rough. It was, it didn't meet expectations at all.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of good anchorages that we found in Italy, and there was a couple nice places. The first place we stopped with all the fireworks, oh, look at those fireworks. Awesome.
Yes. So, all Italian viewers, please forgive us. This is just an honest review. I know your experience most likely will be day and night different. What happened to us, we felt pretty much every anchorage, we felt unwelcome, and it felt like they tried to get rid of us ASAP. We just were not. I felt the feeling that Italy is for Italians. Whoever else is there, move along.
Yeah, it felt like they wanted to cater to Italians, and the Italians, if the anchorage was busy, it just felt like you're in the way. So it's time to move along.
Yeah.
But there was a couple places where it was wide open and, no problems, but it didn't have the feeling like Croatia had. And I think because we had low expectations for Croatia and they completely exceeded our expectations. And then we had high expectations, so we thought that Italy was going to be maybe a little bit better than Croatia, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So the restaurants were okay, but I mean, it wasn't something out of this world.
No.
Couldn't say that. Grocery stores, very interesting. I really like the concept that basically we couldn't find any supermarkets. It's just a lot of little tiny boutique shops, like this is a butcher shop, this is a bakery shop, and this is all the groceries. That's cute, but very unusual for us. Again, we're not complaining about that, but in general, that's something to keep in mind.
There were the big stores, but nowhere close to the anchorages.
Yeah.
So yes, we could go to the big stores, like what's the store that we really like?
Lidl.
Lidl. They have Lidl, but not close to the
Yeah.
places we anchored.
Our friend actually took us there. Thank you so much, Secret. And I would say otherwise, except that we met our follower and our other follower, who one lives in Cagliari, the other one chased us down with his boat. That was the best parts of Italy, besides fireworks. Oh my God.
Fireworks everywhere. Like fireworks. Love
And
the
they
fireworks.
are absolutely amazing.
Well, in one place it was absolutely amazing. The rest of the place they were average. But yeah, a lot of fireworks.
Yeah. And there were places where one different about Italy, it was so difficult to get SIM cards. So as you know, we got Starlink in Greece, but it kind of doesn't make sense for us to have Starlink because usually in Europe, everywhere else, unlimited or very high data is something like $20 to $30. And we have,
For a SIM card.
yes, and we have internet on the boat and while we're traveling off the boat. So that was definitely makes much easier for us, especially now Starlink was raising their fees. So we were not using Starlink lately. But Italy, to get the SIM cards was extremely, like one place. We even took a train or metro to go to the other town to look for SIM cards. Nothing.
It was like the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
Tumbleweeds going through the streets, and it just like the town emptied out or something. So
Yeah.
there's some weird stuff with Italy that wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But we were able to get the cards. We were able to get internet. And, you know, we didn't use Starlink for the rest of Europe. We did use it in Greece, but then when we got to Turkey, they shut it off.
And we never turned it on again.
Yeah, we never turned it on again.
Anyways, for when you say in Italy we used our cards, no, we actually end up having only one card for all this time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yes.
It was good enough, though.
Yeah. So the other thing was marinas. We actually ended up only in one marina. And when we called them up, they said they don't have any space for us. But our follower, who was already there, he said, look, we're going to make it happen. And so the storm was coming up. And marina, I didn't like it because it seemed very exposed. They did have a break wall, but it was fairly far away. And from what I expected where the wind is gonna come, it looked like we might be exposed. Marina was something like $200 a day. And it was terrible, especially when I read this comment from our follower on our channel.
That's what it was like in the winds. And we would have been much safer over on the other side anchored, but we didn't know it at the time. But it would have been better if we were just anchored.
Maybe, but then we wouldn't be able to use dinghy as easily, and we wouldn't have chance to spend as much time with our friends as we did.
No, that was the best part about it, hanging out with the other boat. But anyways, it would have been safer for us to be on anchor on the other side.
Yeah. So yeah, and then what else? Fees. Fees is like you don't pay fees or visas or agent fees, but we got fined.
Yeah.
First time in our nearly 7 years of cruising.
We were anchored between two local boats, and they came to us and they gave us a ticket, but no tickets for anybody else, just ticket for us.
And when then Ken was looking with binoculars, because he said, look, these guys are same distance. Why are you punishing just us? So they went to the other boat, locals boat, they chit-chat, and Ken was looking with the binoculars if they're gonna get the boat, the fine. And later on they came over to us and they said, you have to leave now.
So we left. We went all the way around another island and came back. The other boat's still hanging out. No problem.
Yeah, people are on the deck, suntanning. Nobody's even trying to.
So anyways, that made us feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that area, Stromboli, is controlled by the Sicilian Coast Guard. So that's who gave us the ticket. And then they said, well, you have to go to Sicily to pay the ticket. And so anyways, I just felt like I want out of this place as soon as possible. So then we went to hang out with our friend for a little while.
Boatworks. What do you think about Boatworks in Italy?
I wouldn't do it. I've heard a lot of stories, but we didn't do anything in Italy.
True.
And that's because we didn't feel comfortable in Italy and we wanted to get out as soon as possible.
True. And then we went to France, which is Corsica, but I will talk about France after we talk about Monaco.
Monaco was really cool because we went into Monaco thinking it was going to be super expensive for the marina, but our expectations were off.
$120 including taxes for a 16-meter boat.
And we thought it was going to be 150 or more.
I thought
and
more.
And when we heard that it was 120 euros, which is still kind of expensive, we jumped on it.
Yeah.
And we stayed for one night, I think.
Yeah.
Just one night in Monaco. And that was pretty cool.
We met our subscriber follower. Thank you, Bernard. We met my cousin with her family and my girlfriends from university. That was out of the blue, so unexpected, so cool. Monaco was exceptional as it is. It's super tiny, very expensive, but not the marinas. But the restaurant and even food and the groceries is expensive. But it was easy, welcoming, nice vibes.
Nice people.
Nice people.
Everything was nice in Monaco.
Yeah. And it was just this. I could never expect coming into the Monaco Marina with our boat.
Well, it was pretty cool. And then we didn't get anything done there. We didn't do anything else. We just toured it. I don't think I would get work done in Monaco, but it was kind of cool to go into the Monaco Marina.
Yeah, it's just the cool factor.
So after that, we found some anchorages. You know, France has some pretty nice anchorages, but the first marina we went into France before Monaco was
Bonifacio in Corsica.
And that was absolutely beautiful. I would say skip the Corinth Canal and just go into Bonifacio. It's really cool, kind of the same experience, and I just do that.
Yeah. So what's special about Bonifacio, it's in the natural limestone cave. You come in, there is this beautiful little marina and the city up top and down below. It's very, very picturesque. Very good marina. Even coming to the marina and seeing marineros work, positioning everyone, they are so professional.
They're very good, very good.
Yeah.
But we did see that one boat ram that.
But that has nothing to do with the marineros.
Yeah, that was the bad boat operator.
Yeah. So Bonifacio was lovely. It's France, but it's kind of like on Corsica Island. And that was the only stop we did in Corsica. And then in the mainland, it was very good experience. We met so many Amels. So many Amels owners, new Amels, old Amels, all kind of Amels.
Amels are French, so most of them just stayed home.
Yeah. We got to go to the Cannes boat show, but let's get back to how it would be for everyone else. How is food?
Food in France is good, but it's a bit expensive, especially on the French Riviera where we spent most of our time. It's pretty expensive. I would say it's 1.5x of Greece probably 1.5 times.
I agree with you.
Maybe close to twice as expensive as Greece.
But marinas are surprisingly cheap. Can you imagine Cannes Marina, which is hard to get spot, but you have to work on it, $66 during the high season per night for our boat.
Yeah, somebody went in there, but it might be a little bit more at
Yeah.
high season. I'm not sure.
Anyways, marinas are fairly inexpensive, but when we went to Hieres, it was 80 euros, and they didn't have
any space.
Yeah.
Many of the marinas are completely booked out, so you really have to plan and in advance and really work on getting your reservations. And sometimes the marinas, they're difficult to get a hold of. You have to try and try and try again to get a hold of these marinas.
Yeah. How about Boatworks?
Boatworks, I think you can get some work done in France, but we didn't do anything.
But having in mind that Amel has an office in Hieres, they have to have some good works done there.
Yeah, there are mechanics that work on Amels, specifically for Amels, but we didn't really need anybody since we got a lot of the work done in Greece, in Crete, and we were very happy with that. We didn't need anything else done by the guys in France.
How about Atmosphere?
Atmosphere is incredible. I felt really good about a lot of the places we went. We met some friends there. And yeah, it was nice.
France was really nice. Atmosphere, food, people, anchorages. That was interesting. Very, very interesting.
They have good anchorages. If the wind's coming from the east, then you just go around the corner and anchor your boat on the other side. There's anchorages all over the place, and they have good anchorages.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for anything. Agents, no kind of Zarpe Vignette, no cruising fees, no visas, except the one that we will talk at the end of this video. And yeah, food is more expensive, but I guess since you don't pay anything else, that kind of like levels it out.
So what's our next stop?
Spain.
So we crossed over the bay. What's that bay called?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's right up there. There you go. So we crossed over that bay into Spain, and they have a lot of good anchorages over in Spain that I didn't know they had. But on the mainland Spain, there are a fair amount of anchorages, and we stayed in a couple of them. But in Spain, they have one thing when you anchor.
Wait a minute, about anchorages. You just surprised me. I thought that most of Barcelona's coast is very flat, and anchorages are very limited, especially the ones up north and close to very close to France.
When we came across in that one place, there was
Roses.
tons of places to anchor all around that
all the way
corner.
up north.
Yeah.
Okay, but how the rest of Spain?
Yeah, then it gets like there's no anchorages. There's just maybe a couple anchorages to anchor. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But
So-
that's where you cross over to the Balearics, and that's our next stop when we get back to the boat. But, there are a lot of anchorages in the Balearics.
A lot of, and I'm pretty sure, so full disclosure, all of these places that we talked, we cruised during the good time, the cruising times. We arrived in Spain when it was already getting a little chilly. So of course it's very different. We want to be in the marinas because it's not so nice to ride the dinghy when it's all splashy. And recently we got some very strong winds, couple times in Spain. And when the anchorages are so exposed, and we went along the coast, all the Med coast with a car all the way to Gibraltar. There's not a ton of boats this time.
I'll tell you what, if you're not in an anchorage, if you're in the south of Spain, you're exposed. I don't know of hardly any anchorages along the coast that have good protection.
Yeah.
So you're either up north and you have a lot of anchorages up there, or you're in a marina down south, or you're in the Balearics, which is our next stop.
Yeah. So marinas, when I was looking during the peak season, they are less expensive than compared to Italy, Turkey, and some of them in the Greece mainland. or Croatia. A little bit less expensive, but still fair. For off-season where we found some less expensive marinas, and there are one marina I kind of want to mention. We drove by Cartagena. First, we stopped in some really weird areas. We wanted to skip the whole town.
Cartagena was sketchy at best, but the marina it's where the world travelers stay.
Yeah.
And we saw so many liveaboards there. I think that would be the place.
Yes, I think it's well priced, I believe, because I checked it. It has all security, all everything. So I think that would be definitely a good marina to winter out or stay a little longer time. And in all honesty, we also have to do some sort of like a disclosure. Our friend who came on the Mediterranean side and stopped very close to Gibraltar, his dinghy got stolen.
Yeah, once you get south of Cartagena and farther south, it does get a little sketchy. And we actually looked at a couple condos in Alicante. Alicante is beautiful, nice place. But farther south in Spain, it just gets kind of sketchy.
Well, there is still Marbella, there's still a lot, so
it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, it's different, let's put it. But there's a marina very close to Gibraltar in the bay. So that one, we're planning to stop either in Gibraltar or in that Spain marina.
Yeah, one of those marinas. We're going to stop in Gibraltar and we're going to tour Gibraltar. But bottom line is it's sketchy down there, except for the marinas. You have to be in a marina. I have never heard it happening that a dinghy gets stolen on day one. It's usually they'll watch the boat and they'll steal the dinghy on day 3. But day 1, stealing a dinghy, that means there's some real corrupt people going on.
Yeah.
Real thieves steal a boat on the first night.
Mm-hmm. So again, disclosure, we didn't cruise Spain in the prime time. Maybe we will come back because we love Spain. I can tell you one thing, food is extremely inexpensive.
Yeah, the grocery store is extremely inexpensive. I would say that we saw double the price in France that we see in Spain. Double the price.
I would say even more. All the prosciuttos, everything that I love so much. Not prosciuttos, but the ham.
It was incredible.
Yeah. For the first 2 days, I went into the stores and I'm like, I cannot believe how cheap it is. So cheap, like unbelievable. And Boatworks, did you heard anything about the Boatworks in Spain?
Don't need anything done. We didn't even look, but I think we could probably get some good work done in Spain.
Yeah. Oh, we should switch. I have the same logo as you. Actually, that's good. We matching. We matching. You are matching too.
Sailingaquarius. Wow. You have to get your sweatshirts. Cheers.
Those are very snug. We bought this M for Ken, but it's very snug.
It fits you.
Yeah, I like it. It's probably one of my favorites. We got a lot of t-shirts and so on, but this hoodie, it's very nice. Very nice.
All right, let's finish this up and we're going to talk about general information about sailing the Med. The first thing is you're in the shenanigan zone. And in the shenanigan zone, a lot of people only get 90 days. So you got to get 90 days in, 90 days out. So therefore, a lot of people are going to places like
Turkey, Montenegro, Albania.
Yeah, and then, some of them don't check back in. So they'll sail, several months without even being checked back in the shenanigan zone. So once you leave Montenegro. Once you leave Montenegro, maybe you don't check in for another 2 months.
Don't say that.
Well, I wouldn't do it.
We didn't do it.
We didn't do it. But we don't have to because I get a visa because I'm with you.
Yes. So for majority of people, it's very limiting how much you can cruise in the Med. 90-day Schengen visa, it's a big hurdle for a lot. So that's one thing to address for most of the people. The other thing is the sailing.
The winds. You really have to be aware of all the winds in the various places. You've got winds that hit France. You've got winds that hit, Italy. You've got winds that hit Croatia. You've got the Meltemi that comes down through the Greek islands. So you really have to be aware of the different wind patterns throughout the Mediterranean.
Yes.
But it's just something you have to be aware of. The winds, can get strong fast, and you just have to be aware of. They had that one a couple of years ago. They called it the Medicane.
Yeah.
So they have some pretty bad winds there, and you just have to really watch it. You're talking to the sailors. Everybody talks. So just keep a good pulse on the winds. You really want to watch it.
What we want to say is there's a lot of strong winds that do a lot of damage for the boats. This year was in Balearic Islands. Last year it was over 100 boats damage totaled in Corsica. And there is definitely a lot to watch after. But in general, sailing in the Med, winds are not constant. They shifty. It's very hard to plan. We're leaving the last minute, like when we were sailing to the Spain. We waited, and it looked perfect. We take off, no wind.
A lot of motor sailing. You can say whatever you want, but you're going to use the engine a lot in the Med. Period. Except Croatia. Croatia, you can actually sail in Croatia. That was nice.
So in the beginning, we were thinking to do 2 years of the Med. The other thing, it's probably my kind of like understanding. I thought it's going to be much warmer in the Med during the winter time, but it is not. It gets quite chilly.
Yeah, it gets cold. I don't think I want to spend another season in the Med. Maybe I would. It would be kind of cool to get to know an area really well, but I like moving on too. And as much as people put us down because we're trying to finish the circumnavigation, that's just who we are. I want to finish the circumnavigation.
Who puts us down?
Oh, there was a couple people that put us down. I mean, you can put your comments below, but we are moving. So, along with moving comes, you don't get to hit every single marina or every single anchorage or every single place in Greece because we only have a certain amount of time.
Overall, I'm very happy. My European background was very happy to cruise the Med. It's fabulous, so much to see. And what we said, it's so nice when you don't have to check in, check out. You just
keep going.
Yeah.
Except for Montenegro, Albania, and Turkey.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
places,
wide open. Just keep going.
Yeah. So overall, did you like it?
I loved it. Awesome.
Yeah, same here. And we are a couple of months away from finishing our circumnavigation. Again, fingers crossed. And we would love to have 50,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider that. And we would definitely appreciate that.
I think she said it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And make sure you watch every video all the way through 4 or 5 times.
Good luck with that.
Cheers. Oh, and buy your glasses and your sweatshirts to keep you warm this winter, and your hats. You got to get one of these hats.
This is proudly designed by Ken. Those are proudly designed by me. With Ken's approval, of course.
Okay, is there anything else that we want to say about Europe? We still have a little bit left. We're still going to hit the Balearics, and we're going to still go to down south Spain with the boat. But overall, I think you heard it all. Next season, which is going to be in a couple weeks, you'll see the rest of the story. That's it, guys. That's it for today's episode of Sailing Aquarius. We're not on the boat. We're in Vegas, so see you later.
If you like this video, give us a like down below and click here to subscribe. That really helps us. And if you want to watch more of us, click one of those.
They said they came from Spanish.